dates and places in the following story are fictitious for obvious reasons. The events themselves are a matter of record. And now, from the files of the Texas Rangers, the case called Christmas Payoff.
It is 4 p.m. on the afternoon of December 25th, 1940, in the small West Texas town of Rockfield. In his office, Dr. Edward Hartley and his nurse are just clearing up after treating an emergency case, which has taken the doctor away from his family on this Christmas Day.
Doctor, before I leave, would you like me to stay?
Alice, I would just like you to scoot on home where you should have been hours ago.
And what about you? I think it's a shame. The one day in the year families should be together and you have an emergency.
Well, anyway, old Mrs. Thompson will feel a lot better now for the holidays. Pretty nasty infection.
Mm-hmm.
Guess doctoring's the one business can't be run by a time clock.
And nursing's a part of doctoring, so I leave when you do.
Trapped. Sure would have loved to spend the whole day with the youngsters, though.
No, they probably won't even let you back in the house.
Christmas got them so excited I don't think they even know I'm gone. Oh, by the way, you sure you won't have supper with us?
I'd love to, Doctor, but... Oh, no.
Huh? What's the matter?
Doctor, you come over the window for a minute?
Not another patient.
I think so.
Well, guess the Christmas tree can wait a little longer. Who is it?
I don't know. Here, look. That man just getting out of the car.
I don't recognize him. That arm must be in pretty bad shape. Bandage clear to the elbow.
And why didn't he come in 2 hours ago?
Huh? What do you mean?
That man was sitting in that car 2 hours ago. Only was parked in front of the house next door. I wonder...
Come away from there.
What, Doctor, what...
I don't want him to see you. Now, go on. What else?
Well, just an hour later, when I took Mrs. Thompson out to her car, he was still there.
And he meant it. He really meant it.
Doctor, what is it?
Alice, now listen to me. Don't ask any questions. I want you to get in the supply closet and stay there.
What?
Whatever you do, don't make a sound. No matter what happens out here, don't give yourself away. You understand me? Your life depends on it.
What is it? Why don't we call the sheriff?
I'm going to. Now, hurry into the closet. Now, remember, not a sound. I should have known it'd come. I didn't know when. Come on. Operator, this is Doc Hartley. Listen carefully. I have to speak quietly. Get the sheriff to my office as quick as you can, and don't call back. Just get him out here. Can't stall any longer. Come in. Just a minute. Here goes. Yes?
You Doc Hartley?
That's right.
Well, can I come in?
Oh, of course. Come in. No, that's the supply closet. My dispensary is this way. Now, if you'll just get up on the table. Would you like to lie down? More comfortable for that arm.
I'll sit.
That's a lot of bandaging. What did you do to that hand?
Think maybe I sprained it. You're the doc. Suppose you tell me. Always work this slow, Doc?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Where's your nurse?
She's gone home a long time ago. Not even supposed to be working today. This is Christmas, you know.
Yeah, I know. Why don't you pull the last of the bandage off, Doc? Don't you want to see my hand?
I know what's in it.
Then I'll do it myself. There. See? There's your Christmas present, Doc, in my fist. Nice 38. Don't you want it, Doc?
Why are you doing this? Why?
Maybe I shouldn't give it to you. You guessed what it was. Spoiled my surprise. Nah, you look like a nice guy. I'll give it to you anyway. Look at me, Doc. You know what it's for.
You get your...
Merry Christmas, Doc.
Sheriff Lon McGill, on arriving at the scene of the crime, found Dr. Hartley dead and Nurse Alice Leonard in a state of physical collapse. He immediately asked for the help of the Texas Rangers. Ranger Jace Pearson was assigned, joining the sheriff at the doctor's office a short while later.
Photographer will be out of your way in a minute, Jace. The nurse I told you about is in the other room. Maybe you want to talk to her first.
Yeah, thanks, Sheriff. She's still as bad off as she was?
Oh, she's some better now. It's a rough thing for a woman to have to go through.
Yeah, plenty rough.
In here, Jason. Alice. Alice, this is Ranger Pearson. It's Alice Leonard, Jace. Been Doc Hartley's nurse for 6 years.
Howdy, ma'am.
I'm sorry. I just can't seem to get a hold of myself. But it was so horrible. It was horrible.
I know how you must feel, ma'am, but you'll be helping a lot by answering a few questions.
I tried.
Fine. Sheriff here has given me what you told him, so I won't put you through that again. Just want to clear up a few things. You know of anyone who might have wanted Doc dead?
Oh, what sort of person would want that? Doctor was a wonderful man. Never had an enemy in his life. Sheriff, he'll tell you that.
That's right, Jace. Doc was a real popular man in this town. I never heard a word against him.
Friend didn't put him where he is now, Sheriff. Ma'am, you say you saw the killer's face?
Yes, through the keyhole.
You think you'd recognize him if you saw him again?
Yes, I'm sure I would.
Good. Now, from their conversation, would you say the doctor knew this man?
No.
Yet when he saw him through the window, he made you hide in the closet.
Yes, that's right.
He say anything at all about the man?
No. Wait, I remember now. He said something about... He meant it.
He meant it?
Yes.
What is it, ma'am?
I just remembered something, a note.
What note, Alice?
Well, a few weeks ago, the doctor got a letter. I opened it because I take care of his mail.
Go on.
Inside was just a piece of paper with words cut out from newspapers pasted to it. It said the payoff is soon.
What did the doctor say when he saw it?
Well, he just laughed, said it was some sort of joke. But I caught him sitting and staring at it a few times after that.
You know where that letter is?
Well, I think it's in his desk.
Miss Leonard, you remember anything about the car this man drove?
No, just that it was black, a sedan. Oh, and the front fender had a big dent in it. I remember I could see it from the office window.
I think that'll do for now, ma'am. You go home and try and get some rest.
Tell the deputy I said to drive you home, Alice.
I will. I hope you find the man who did this. I hope you find him.
Oh, poor woman. She was mighty fond of the doc, Jace. Must have spent some bad minutes in that closet.
Yeah, the doc had a couple of bad minutes, too, Sheriff. The photographer must be finished in there by now. Let's take a look.
Nothing's been touched in there, Jace. Everything's just the way we found it. Thought you'd want it that way.
Thanks, Sheriff. Let's have a look at the doc.
I'll just whip the sheet off him here.
He shot at close range, all right. Powder burns. The angle of the shot seemed to bear out the nurse's story. Ballistics will fill us in later. Let's have a look at this desk.
Okay, Jace? Well, there's not much on this side, Jace. What's the matter?
Drawer full of Christmas candies. That'll be a nice Christmas for those poor kids.
Hey, wait a minute, Jace. I think this is what you want.
And that's it. The payoff is soon. No envelope with it?
I reckon Doc threw that away.
It'd be a tough one to trace. Cheap paper, the message in newspaper captions. And it's used a lot for blackmail because it's so hard to run down.
Well, where to now, Jace?
Has the doc's wife been told about this yet?
No. Been holding off. I sure don't relish it none. Those kids and all.
Let's tell her together then, Sheriff. It's a little easier that way.
Thanks, Jace. Anything more we can do here?
No, but before we go, I want to check on that black sedan with a smashed front fender. See if it's on the stolen car list.
Sure thing.
If you can spare a couple of deputies, Sheriff, I'd like them to do a house-to-house on this street. Maybe somebody else got a look at that car or the killer.
It's a good idea, Jace. There's not much to go on, is there?
There's enough. They always leave enough. And this is one killer I want, Sheriff. I want him bad. A black sedan with a
a smashed front fender was on the stolen car list. We finished our calls and left. 15 minutes later, we stood in front of a large, neat house on a well-kept street. Staring at the front door, Doc Hartley would never open again. Through the parlor window, we could see 3 laughing kids and proud grandparents around a Christmas tree. It was a rough doorbell to ring.
Darling, I thought you'd never... Oh, I'm sorry. I was expecting my husband. Oh, Sheriff McKell.
Howdy, Miss Hartley. Can we come in?
Oh, why, of course. Please do. I imagine you want to see Ed. I'm sorry he had an emergency, but if you like, I can...
Mrs. Hartley, this is Ranger Pearson.
Howdy, ma'am.
Hello, Ranger. Pleased to meet you.
Ma'am, can we speak to you privately? I mean, in another room, away from them.
Of course. Come in here. Well, what is it?
Ma'am, it's best to say it quickly. Your husband, he's been killed.
Oh, no.
Here, you better sit down, Miss Hartley.
I'm sorry, ma'am.
How did it happen?
He was shot, ma'am, by a man who came in asking for treatment. I want to find that man, Mrs. Hartley. I know how you feel at a time like this, but if you could answer a few questions, it'd help.
I'll try.
Has anyone threatened your husband that you know of? Did he seem worried lately?
No.
Did anyone call him today beside the woman he went to treat?
Just a man.
What man?
A little past noon, the phone rang. Some man asked for my husband. I told him he was at the office on an emergency, and he just hung up.
You recognize the voice, Mrs. Hartley?
No.
Just one more question, ma'am. Do you know of anyone who had a grudge against the doctor who'd have wanted this to happen?
No. Nobody. Nobody except...
Except who?
Oh, I was thinking of that man, the one he sent to prison.
Sent to prison, ma'am?
I think I can explain that, Jace. You mean that Nixon thing, Miss Hartley?
Yes.
Well, it happened a couple of years back, Jace. A fellow named Al Nixon robbed the payroll of a gas cracking plant about 40 miles from here. Shot during the getaway, though. Came through here and forced Doc Hartley to treat him at gunpoint.
You know what kind of stretch they gave him, Sheriff?
No, I don't remember. You see, that was before I was sheriff. I was living at the other end of the county then. Well, anyway, seems Doc somehow sneaked a phone call while he was treating Nixon, and the police got him. Isn't that right, Miss Hartley?
Yes. They sent him to Huntsville.
Mrs. Hartley, I'm sorry to put you through this. We're going to leave now. Is there anything we can do for you?
Nothing. There's nothing anyone can do. How will I tell the children?
Call from KTXA ought to be in any minute now, Sheriff.
I still don't see why you ask him for that rundown on Nixon, Jace. You thinking maybe he's out?
I don't know, Sheriff, but I sure want to find out. Nixon's got a real good motive for this killing.
Well, I got to go with you on that. But
KTXA,
hold it, Sheriff.
Unit 10.
That's
KTXA to Unit 10.
Unit 10 to KTXA. Go ahead.
Have information you requested. Al Nixon, sentenced life term, Huntsville Penitentiary, December 1937. Money from gas cracking plant payroll never recovered.
10-4. Unit 10 clear.
KTXA Austin.
Well, that kind of kills that, don't it, Jace? Man with the best motive of all is serving life at Huntsville.
It's still too good to pass by, Sheriff.
What do you mean?
Look, Nixon may be in Huntsville for life, but that doesn't change his motive. It's still good. So good I want to see him. I'm going to Huntsville in the morning.